So are the Rafale aircraft really a game changer for the Indian Air Force? Joining me now, two very special guests, Air Chief Marshal Fali Major and former Chief of Air Staff, Air Chief Marshal P.V. Naik. Appreciate both of you joining us. I want to ask that question to both of you. Why don't you start, Air Chief Marshal Major? Is this a game changer?
Thank you for having us over, Rajdeep. Yeah, given the capability of the Rafale, it certainly would be a game changer as far as air war fighting is concerned. And a lot has been spoken about its capabilities, etc., for many days now. So I won't go into the details, but suffice to say that we've been waiting for this aeroplane for a very long time. And you got two chiefs on your channel where I had, the RFP was signed during my time in 2007. And eventually the trials and everything else finished in Pradeep Naik's tenure. So you have two chiefs here who saw the beginning, and it was a great sight to see those 5 aircraft land in Ambala today after 13 years from the time the process had started. Yes, that certainly will be a game changer.
Okay, let me put that to you, Air Chief Marshal Naik. Why don't you pick up from where Air Chief Marshal Major left, that it's taken so long? You know, this is a demand that the Air Force made 20 years ago, 13 years since Air Chief Marshal began the process, and today it's taken way too long, hasn't it?
See, during my time is the time when the evaluation process started, purely for the performance of the aircraft. Now, there were 6 aircraft, 2 were from United States, the F-18 and the F-16. 2 were from Europe, that is the Eurofighter Typhoon, and of course the Rafale. And 1 was the Russian one, MiG-35, and there was a single-engine Swedish aircraft, Gripen NG. This evaluation itself took a long time, but I must compliment the team of test pilots, I think headed by a guy called Ravi Dhir. They finished this in 6 months, and I had promised the Defense Minister that by 31st July, we will submit the evaluation report. So 31st July 2009, was it, or 2010 probably, that we had completed the performance evaluation of the 6 aircraft, and we had shortlisted 2 as per the performance. That is a
But it still took I still want to persist with that question. It still took us a decade from when you completed your evaluation to today. I'm just asking you, and this is the political question. At the end of the day, you are masters of the air, but you're not masters of politics. Do you believe, therefore, that the process took way too long, Chief Marshal Naik?
No, Rajdeep, you are the master of politics. I'm not. What happened was, after the performance evaluation, then the commercial negotiations started, and that's where things got stuck for a long, long time, and then I retired. After that, it continued. There were various differences of opinion. Finally, I'm very happy that whenever this 36 aircraft deal came, I think the government took a very strong stand. At least we got 36 aircraft. Otherwise, we would have still been fighting on manpower and HAL manpower.
No, but that's one way of looking at it, Air Chief Marshal Major, that at least 36 aircraft are on their way. Today, 5 have come. And I sometimes wonder whether the celebrations are simply because, oh, we've got some aircraft at last. The original plan was to have 126 aircraft.
Rajdeep, it is both. Yes, while agreeing to the fact that originally they were supposed to be 126, but something is better than nothing at a time when the squadron depletion is so rapid in the Air Force that we've at least got 36. Now, I don't know what the further plans would be, but I think it would be a damn good idea if another 2 squadrons, the another 36, would join the Air Force. But yes, it took a decade for various reasons, as Pradeep just mentioned, and the Air Force was eagerly awaiting the arrival of this aircraft. And with the arrival of these 5 aircraft today, yes, there is jubilation in the country, but we need to be a little circumspect that in saying as to it will still take a little while before we fully operationalize whatever aeroplanes we've got, plus the many more which will come by the end of this year. And I think by the end of this year, when we have at least a squadron available with us, can we say that, yes, now we have a capability to deploy them operationally? But
Air
mind
Chief,
you, you can still deploy a couple of aeroplanes operationally, but the idea is only if it is required, because not that the Air Force doesn't have any other air power assets. They still do.
but the fact, Air Chief Marshal Major, is that even with these aircraft coming in, when the entire contingent of 36 aircraft are delivered sometime by 2022, it takes the IAF squadron strength to 32, still well below the optimum 42 sanctioned strength. So, I mean, we still are not where we want to be. I mean, I just wonder sometimes whether the celebrations that we put in place do not reflect certain ground realities.
No, we certainly will be short of squadrons. There is no doubt. And that is going to take a lot of time. Whether it is these 114 aeroplanes which will be built here, or whether it would be the Tejas, whatever it is. But a beginning has been made. At least you got up by 2 squadrons. I know that very soon 2 will retire. But still, the accretion has started, and we should be happy about that.
Okay, so we are in a sense, in a way, happy at the accretion that's taken place, but is it enough? I come back to it, Air Chief Marshal Naik, because look at the Chinese on the other hand with their J-20 Chengdu aircraft. Are they at a superior position to us? The Pakistanis have relied on F-16s. What's your sense? How does the Rafale compare to what the Chinese and the Pakistanis have? Will it give us that cutting edge once, of course, it's fully operationalized?
See, once it is fully operationalized with 2 squadrons, I think it will be a very strong threat in being. It has the advantage of outgunning, I would say, both the Pakistani and the Chinese aircraft. Chinese aircraft were almost, but it has an advantage of being battle proven. It has been used in battle, in live battles, in Afghanistan, in Syria, in Africa, many countries. So it is a proven aircraft. Unlike, let's say, the J-20 of China, it is still not a proven aircraft. The second thing is the Chinese technology is suspect. Their engines, etc., are genuinely suspect. So unless we see the performance, we will not be able to assess the J-20. As far as the Rafales are concerned, it is not going to be a threat immediately, but it is a threat in being, you see. It is a superior aircraft. It's a quantum jump in technology. So that is what probably the country is celebrating. That we have suddenly jumped technology a notch or 2. From about 3.5 Gen, we have come to 4.5 Gen aircraft. So that is a good thing. And it is a very progressive thing. But like you said, we need more aircraft. There is definitely a dearth of aircraft. We have 32 squadrons or thereabouts. We need 42 squadrons at least to cater for both the threats.
Let me ask both of you, therefore, the question that, both of you were UPA Air Chief Marshals, or Air Chief Marshals when the UPA was in power. You were proud Air Chief Marshals of the Indian Air Force while the UPA was in power. So, Air Chief Marshal Fali Major, do you believe that this UPA versus NDA battle which is going on, which has been a subtext of the Rafale, how do you see that? Do you believe that there should have been a greater continuum in the way negotiations take place?
As a military man, Rajdip, I view it very differently from how you people view it. Because you should always remember that an air chief or army chief or navy chief serves the country. He is not interested in what political party rules. He is loyal to the government. And it is not his business to get into what 2 political parties, their differences are. But having said that, let me say that the speeding up of the process of getting these aeroplanes by the present government has perhaps kick-started the move for further improvements in the armed forces and further accretions in the armed forces, which is quite visible. Now, why it got delayed previously, perhaps it was no fault of anybody's because of the HL issues, etc., in this Rafale deal. But whatever be the case, as far as we are concerned, I'm happy that these Gen 4 plus aeroplanes are in the country, and more hopefully should come.
Let me put that also to you, Air Chief Marshal Naik. Can the NDA take due credit? Look, we got the deal, not just finalized the deal, but we got the aircraft. Evaluation, other processes may have taken place earlier, but it was getting delayed. We fast-tracked the entire process. To that extent, is this a moment for the NDA government to celebrate?
I think definitely, because Rajdeep, you know very well that there was a Gordian knot. Neither side was ready to give. Now, I think our present government went there in France. I think his first visit, PM's first visit there, and that Gordian knot got cut. And at least we got 36 aircraft. Otherwise, we would have still been debating and negotiating.
So, to that extent, today the Narendra Modi government can take credit, you're saying, for fast-tracking the process. Am I correct?
Of course.
Thank you both very much for joining me on the show today. Good to have your views, and thank you very much. It is, I'm sure, a proud day for both of you since you've been part of the process.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.